Today we want to investigate demons and dragons. We often think that those things no longer exist. But when you read some books on Eastern philosophy, particularly most of you have read Milarepa, and maybe now even a new book called Sky Dancer, a woman who had liberation. And then there was Ma Zik. Her story is not written yet. The understanding what a demon or a dragon is quite different than what we might think. We may relate it often to the Catholic Church, the devil. But there is a great difference in that. If you can have the vision of everything that is positive and good, because that is what your vision expresses, you can also have a vision of the devil. That means the accumulation of all that which you are, if not clearly, but at least dimly aware is not right. That can involve your jealousies, envy, manipulation. All this belongs into the same. In fact, the manipulator in you is a dragon who will devour anything because you want to achieve the fulfillment of your idea. You see, in order to understand how our mind functions, it may be practical to think what processes are going on in the mind. There are many thoughts. Do you know where your thoughts come from? Most of the time, we don't have an awareness. And one exercise that has been done also is watching the mind for 10 minutes, then writing down 10 minutes what has been observed, and extending it another 10 minutes, and again writing 10 minutes and watching 10 minutes. And if you can finally build up for 2 hours, always with the interruption of 10 minutes watching and 10 minutes writing, you will be amazed, and you will know that most of the things that pass through your mind you cannot capture. It just goes. But you see, we think nothing happened, it really doesn't matter. That is not so either. Because if thoughts can be sometimes compared to flowers, wild flowers, cultivated flowers, and a big wind at the right time will propel the seeds to scatter into the air. And the air current will travel and carry the seeds. You could be the recipient of those seeds, or of one of them. Because when you have no awareness, you don't even know what settles down on you, and you do not know the influences that one mind can have, not just on another mind, but on a whole group of minds. Or a whole group of minds can have a strong influence on your own mind. And of course, we all have heard about group pressure, but it is not a group that comes together like us here. It's also the group of family and friends. Why do you want to go on a spiritual path? What is all this realization, that higher consciousness? And what are you liberating yourself? Anybody who will counteract those desires is considered in the Eastern teachings a demon. That can be your most beloved. However, we have to look at that too. Sometimes love is not really love. Sometimes love is simply attachment. And we have to learn to discriminate between true love and attachment. Sometimes we are just used to be with somebody, but there is no particular quality in the relationship. Because any relationship that is worth keeping, people should bring the best out in each other. If that is not the case, then there's no particular point in holding a relationship together, because it is that quality eventually that holds it together. Now, if you suddenly decide, age 40 or 45 or whatever, to go back to university, and you want to take a course, and you have a tremendous workload and all this, because of social circumstances and social life and lifestyle, that is accepted. And if you were wanting to become a psychiatrist, it takes you 12 years. But if you want to take only a portion of those 12 years, few hours a day, maybe just 2 even, out of the day, everybody thinks there's something not quite right with you. Because a general lifestyle that is accepted will always meet with resistance by others. You have to ask yourself the question, why is that so? It's very simple. Look at advertising. If 2 million insurers are booked with metropolitan life insurance, well, there certainly can't be anything wrong with. So wherever numbers play a part, because everybody lives this way, therefore it must be right. But if you take some time of reflection, you will find that just the opposite is correct. Now let me give you another example of this. When you see big mass movements, and hundreds of people, or maybe a couple of thousand or whatever together, and suddenly somebody is having the emotions arising and says, death to whoever that is. All the people around scream the same thing. They lose in that moment their individuality. It is sometimes an unfortunate negative way that helps to express what I have often in the classes and courses said, oneness. We are all part of that great one power, because it is that particular power which we cannot just say life force, but is perhaps the simplest way to explain, that has created us in the first place. And therefore, it can also take care of us if we allow this to happen.